Hey, it's me. Sometimes it feels like we're walking through life with blinders on. The mind sees only small pieces of reality and assumes it understands the whole, but it doesn't. What we think is the full picture is often just a narrow slice, distorted by what we've been taught, what we fear, and what we don't yet understand. The hard part is that this narrow way of seeing becomes our truth. We convince ourselves that what we're experiencing is all there is, and then we suffer because of it. We believe that life is happening to us when so much of it is being shaped from the inside out. The mind is not fixed. It can grow, it can soften, it can begin to question its own habits and conditioning. That questioning is what starts to open the door. Most people don't realize how much they're shaping their experiences by what they carry inside. It's not just about your thoughts, it's about the deeper attitudes, the hidden feelings, the parts of ourselves we're afraid to see. When we avoid those parts, we lose sight of how we're contributing to what's happening around us. We feel trapped, confused, or like life is random and unfair. There are stages we move through as we begin to wake up to this. In the first stage, everything feels disconnected. Life seems to happen at random. Good luck, bad luck. People do things that hurt us. Illness comes out of nowhere. There's a feeling of helplessness, and fear starts to grow. We feel like victims of life. Over time, something shifts. Maybe after going through enough pain or enough repetition, we begin to wonder, did I play a role in this? Could this experience be connected to something inside me? We start to notice a thread between our beliefs, our fears, our choices, and what's happening around us. The second stage isn't about blame, it's about honesty. You start to see that your life reflects your inner world. Not perfectly and not always clearly, but often enough to notice. You realize that the outer world isn't as random as it once seemed. There's a relationship forming between what you carry and what you encounter. That awareness brings a kind of relief. It may not make the pain disappear, but it gives you back some power. You see the patterns, you see how your actions, your protection strategies, your inner walls are shaping things. And even if you haven't yet changed them, you understand where they come from. You're not as lost anymore. Then there's the third stage. Here, the gap between what you feel inside and what shows up outside grows smaller. Life begins to reflect more clearly what's going on in you. Sometimes out of nowhere, you feel low or uneasy. You know it's not because of something someone did. You feel it in your bones. It's yours. Maybe you don't know why yet, but you know it didn't come from the outside. That awareness is a turning point. It means you stop projecting your pain onto others. You stop needing a reason out there to explain what you're feeling in here. And that's huge. It's also hard because the mood still comes and you still don't know what it means. At least now you're willing to sit with it, to listen. This is where the real path begins. The shift from blaming life to being curious about what's moving inside you. The body is like a bridge. It stands between two worlds, the inner and the outer. Most people forget about the inner world. They get so caught up in what's happening outside that they don't notice the inner movement at all. And that's where suffering starts to spiral. Because when you forget there's something deeper going on inside, The pain just feels like pain. The fear just feels like fear. There's no thread, no meaning, no sense of what it's pointing to. That pain is a message. That fear is a doorway. Every mood, every dark cloud is a signpost trying to guide you, not punish you, guide you. The mind, especially when it's cut off from the deeper parts of you, wants to pretend those moods are random. They're not. Every inner reaction has a reason, even if it isn't obvious right away. And when you stop fighting the mood, stop needing to change it right away, something inside starts to open. You stop being a victim of it, and instead, you move with it. The more you're willing to see the parts of you that feel ugly or wrong or small, the more you remember who you really are. It's the hiding that makes them feel so powerful. Once you face them, they lose their grip. And underneath them, there's love, there's strength, there's clarity. You can't fake this part though. You can't skip ahead. The process of owning all of you, the light and the dark, is what allows the real you to come through. If you keep pretending that what's happening in your life has nothing to do with your thoughts, your intentions, your fears, or your choices, then you'll keep spinning in the same patterns. You'll suffer more. You'll feel more powerless. And you'll miss the invitation that life is constantly offering to look inward and remember. When you start seeing your role in your own life, everything changes. Even if the change is slow, it's real. The smallest crack in that old way of thinking starts to let light in. You begin to realize that you can create, like really create, not just react. And that creation starts from within. Sometimes people avoid this kind of self-responsibility because they think it means blame or shame. It doesn't. Real self-responsibility is quiet. It's honest. It doesn't puff itself up. It simply says, I'm willing to see myself clearly because I care about who I'm becoming. And that's not weakness. That's strength. Over time, the way you see the world begins to flip. What used to feel like the cause, the outer event, starts to feel more like the effect. And what used to feel like a vague inner space starts to feel like the real ground beneath your feet. So when the mood comes, or when life feels hard, pause. Instead of rushing to fix it or blame it on someone else, simply ask, what is this pointing to? What's the movement here? What part of me wants to be seen? You don't need all the answers. You just need to stay with it. Your life is a living mirror of the deeper patterns playing out in you. As you become more aware, that mirror gets clearer. It stops reflecting chaos and starts reflecting coherence. And the more willing you are to walk into the truth of who you are, without hiding, without pretending, the more peace you'll find. Not because life stops being hard, because you're no longer lost in it. You're creating now, not just surviving. And that makes all the difference. Love you. Connect soon.